I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from David. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, topic, reaction, review, whatever, pretty much any, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Primal Fear, which is a courtroom drama, not really thriller, but it does have a certain twist or two. It's from the same director, Gregory Hoblet. After this, he would do Fallen, which I'm sorry, if you like Fallen, that's cool. I'm not a fan of Fallen. But he also did Frequency. Great movie, good heart to it with Dennis Quaid, Jim Caviezel. Wonderful science fiction drama. Frequency is worth a watch. He also did Fracture, which is a pretty decent thriller with Ryan Gosling and Anthony Hopkins. Fracture I was rather surprised by when I first saw it back in the day. And again, Ryan Gosling and Anthony Hopkins, they worked rather well together. Now this is one of those films that when people talk about it, they talk about the ending. And they talk about the twist. And I've seen this film before, so I knew of the twist. So I guess if you see this film, you're going to be of two minds. The mind you are not knowing the twist, and then the mind when you do know the twist. And then you're kind of viewing the film in two different ways. When you don't know the ending, you watch it on the surface level. Then you get to the ending, you go, oh shit. Again, when you know, I don't want to spoil it because I have to, because really it's a decent film. I think it's a bit long. It's like 2 hours and 5 minutes. I don't think it needed to be that long to tell this story. It's got a good cast. I do like Richard Gere. I do. I liked, was it No Mercy with Kim Basinger? I remember not minding that. I do like the Mothman Prophecies. I actually I gotta see if that's on Blu-ray. I want to get that. I remember liking that film. And there's been a few others. I think there's one called The Flock, which I thought was decent. But yeah, I do like Richard Gere. I don't know as a person, but I do like him as an actor. I thought he did a good job here as a lawyer who, he wants the spotlight and he takes all these cases. But throughout you get to understand him a bit more that he's not a perfect guy either. And people assume that I want the 15 seconds on TV and I love that shit. Well, you know what? I love some of it, but I do believe in innocent until proven guilty. I choose to believe that not all crimes are done by bad people. Sometimes good people do some very bad things. That he's no angel. So bits of dialogue like that makes you understand the character a bit more. And I do think Richard Gere did a good job. And he is on the case of this altar boy from Kentucky with a severe stutter, played by Edward Norton, who supposedly killed this archbishop. Pretty brutal. I mean, I forgot how brutal it was, where you see the guy's fingers get cut off, among other stuff. I'm like, oh shit, that was more violent than I remember. Now, again, I gotta go into this talking about the twist, so there's the twist. They're going through the trial. You find out there was a sex tape where this archbishop got these altar boys, including Edward Norton, to perform stuff for him. Edward Norton's character has these blackouts, and this other personality comes out called Roy. Because the stuttering nice kid is Aaron. This guy who, I'm the one who did it, is Roy. And I forget some of the cast members you have in here. You have Laura Linney from Congo, among others. I do enjoy Congo quite a bit. She plays the opposing lawyer on the case. Andre Braugher, good actor. He was in The Mist, the Stephen King film. He's been in other stuff too. He plays one of the people helping Richard Gere with the case. I mentioned Edward Norton. He's a suspect. Frances McDormand is the doctor who's noticing certain things about this person. Terry O'Quinn, the stepfather, from the original stepfather, the good one. He pops up in the film. Stephen Bauer, and then this other guy, Tony Plana, they're in it. And to be honest, they're fine, but you didn't really need their stuff in it. Like, of stuff you just see cut out, Stephen Bauer and Tony Plana, they didn't really bring a whole lot essential stuff to the plot. So again, I'm looking at this, I'm going, this is over 2 hours. I think there's stuff you could cut out. Again, I like Stephen Bauer. He was in Scarface. Tony Plana, I've seen him. I remember him Born in East L.A. Fuck you. You fucked with Cheech Marin. Again, good actors. Like I said, there are scenes that could work better on deleted scene. Again, I don't think they're absolutely essential for the plot, and it would help the pacing a bit. That's just me. But anyway, the trial happens, and it ends with snapping in court, attacking Laura Linney. Oh, we don't put him into this guy is certifiable insanity case. You think the movie's over, and in retrospect, they did a nice job making you think it was going to be the ending. Running time wise, wrapping things up, talking with Laura Linney, all this. Okay, it's going to be a wrap up. Sometimes filmmakers try to do that, and oh, wait a minute, there's something off about this. There's going to be, about 10, 15 minutes more. Maybe that's where the running time actually was a positive. Yeah, it's going to be ending in a minute now. I guess this is it, and they don't say their goodbyes, but then Richard Gere notices something, because Edward Norton goes, I hope her neck is okay. Well, there's a piece of info about, wait a minute, when you turn into these people, you have these blackouts that you don't remember. So if you turn to Roy, how would you remember to say, I hope your neck is okay, or her neck is okay? And he's like, wait a minute, how would you know that? And then all of a sudden Edward Norton's clapping, and he's talking without the stutter, and then it really hits you where Richard Gere's like, so there never was a Roy? And Edward was like, man, I can't believe I had to spell it out for you. There never was an Aaron, counselor. So it's Edward Norton pulling the ultimate con job. He killed this guy because of the sex stuff. He murdered the guy. he pretended to have this nice, decent, stuttering, oh yes, this facade, and fooled everybody, especially this guy who, at the beginning of Richard Gere, there's that part that does want the spotlight. Because there's certain pieces of dialogue, like you don't ask, you don't care, you just do the job, the illusion of innocence. Listen, when you're at the jury, I want you to look innocent. I am innocent. Yes, that's it. That's how I want you to look. Yes, that's the way you act. And throughout it, he believes he gets sucked into believing this is a moral cause, and then to find out that he's been the total fool all along. And Edward Norton, see, that's what I can see why Edward Norton got a lot of praise in the acting in the critical department, because this is something, a twist that you can't do a lot because people will see it coming. And if you're going to do it, you got to have an actor that hasn't done a lot, so you don't know his certain ticks. You don't, like, okay, this is a guy that usually plays a villain, so you think, okay, is he going to turn to a villain now? Or that sort of thing. And it was a decent surprise. Now, granted, I think I had heard of the twist. Even when I first saw the film, I had heard the twist before I saw it, so I'd lost a bit of the impact. But I could tell, with the way it's directed, the way the performance, Edward Norton's character does seem genuine and being this nice, stuttering, oh, what's going on? Yes, sir, please, sir. That type of mentality. And the fact, I would say this is a better con job for me than The Usual Suspects. Because The Usual Suspects, which I don't think is a bad film, but that's the one that gets more of the praise when it comes to the twist, the Kaiser Soze. I thought this was handled a bit better, and it's a bit more fair, and in a way less manipulative, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. And he plays both personalities really well, and the fact that there wasn't both, there's only one personality. It was the ultimate fake job. Now, granted, I'm not a lawyer. For all I know, everything that happens in this court is bullshit. And if a lawyer saw this movie, they go, "That's bullshit. This bullshit. This is all bullshit." Because I know some lawyers, they feel that one of the ones that did the best was My Cousin Vinny of all movies. But again, maybe a lawyer would see this and go, "No, that wouldn't happen," and no, Edward Norton would not be able to get this. And if any lawyers are out there, I if any of my viewers are lawyers, you let me know. Is this bullshit or not? But as a movie, again, Edward Norton did a great job being the manipulative con man that fooled a lot of people, including a good chunk of the audience when this came out. And again, that got, not only are you're in Richard Gere's shoes, because the way he's just dumbfounded is how I'm sure a lot of the audience felt the same way. So you can't really call it a happy ending. I mean, it's not downbeat like people die, or, well, the Archbishop died at the beginning, but again, when he was doing that with you can't really feel sorry for him. I think Edward Norton's character mentions he killed someone else too, the girl in there. So, that's the one innocent killed. And again, there's nothing Richard Gere can do. And he's just dumbfounded. And instead of going into the front with all the praise in the press, he goes through the back. And he just stands there, and you don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to quit? Is he going to just throw it away? What's he going to do next? I guess that's up to the viewer. Again, Edward Norton's character played him like a fiddle, played him like a fool, and got away with it. Not only with them, but with the audience itself. And I guess, like, watching it again, I would say with repeated viewings, it would be just to watch the acting and the showcase how you have an actor. Edward Norton is a good actor. I liked him in The Incredible Hulk. Edward Norton was good in Fight Club. The show how a guy can give a really solid performance, making you believe this is a guy to root for, this is a guy to feel sorry for, and do the big middle finger to you at the end. How you believed in me? Fuck you for believing in me. And I thought it was rather effective. Because in Edward Norton, that's a tough role to do, and I thought he pulled it off well. And even when you know the twist, you can at least appreciate the acting. Now again, I do think it's a bit long in the tooth. I don't think it needs to be over 2 hours. Again, there's some little subplots they add in it, like the Stephen Bauer, Tony Planet. I don't really think you needed. But again, other than that, I don't really have a lot of issues. You know, the music is fine, the direction is fine, the production, the cinematography is fine. I don't really have a lot of issues on that front. I didn't mind some of the pieces of dialogue that Richard Gere said, what he's trying to explain, what type of person he is, and why he does what he does. You know, Edward Norton pulls off the switch well, from very, like I said, submissive, stuttering, wide-eyed to pushing Richard Gere against the wall. You're so full of shit. Yo, who the fuck are you? You pull that shit on air again, I'll kick your ass. And it just also depends how much you're into courtroom movies. Some people are not because they feel, well, you're watching a chunk of the same room over and over again, and it's people giving their information, their point of view, back and forth. Some people might not be into courtroom dramas at all. So I don't know how you would fare with this movie. I mean, with courtroom dramas, it depends. There's some better than others. One of my favorites is the Al Pacino film Injustice for All. I love Injustice for All. I think that's an Al Pacino film that's underrated because no one ever talks about it. Even though it got good critical, that's where the "you're out of order, you're out of order, this whole system's out of order," which a lot of people mimicked later on. That was from Injustice for All. Great Al Pacino film. But I guess it's like everything. There's different degrees of good and bad. It's like, okay, this is a story about newspaper people. But if you have a film like All the President's Men, which is another really good film, you could really make something out of it. And this one, yeah, I think it's decent because the director has some talent. Yeah, I did not like Fallen, but he did Frequency, he did Fracture. Other films I enjoyed. I would say Frequency is the director's best film. But I liked this one. Fracture was a bit underrated. And it's a good cast, good acting, decent enough story. And like I said, even when you know the twist, it's interesting. It's a nice acting showcase for Edward Norton. And, you know, the twist, even when you know it coming, it's a hard-hitting twist. And M. Night Shyamalan wishes he could do twists this well. I mean, The Sixth Sense, that's understandable for the twist. But Unbreakable, I wouldn't call it a twist. I would just call the summation of that story. But then with, like, The Village, and what the fuck was it? Glass. That's not really... Well, in a way you'd call it a twist, a shitty twist. More like different expectations and... Fuck Glass. Fuck The Village. Fuck Lady in the Water. Like, M. Night Shyamalan, for the most part, wishes you do a twist as good as this. And it's not even like an out of the blue twist. It's like, oh, wow, cool. It makes sense. And manipulative. Well, no, not manipulative. The character being manipulative about the people around him. Like I said, it's a good con job. And he pulled it off fairly well. So, And that's the line that really hits. There was never Roy? No, there was never an Aaron, counselor. The fact that that good portion never existed. And Richard Gere did a nice job acting as well. I keep talking about Edward Norton, but Richard Gere, he sold it well. You know, his eyes are just glistening, but not going over the top. And just the dumbfoundedness of... He doesn't know what to say. Because what can you say? And you tell by his walk, his body language, he just doesn't know what to do. I mean, the thing they were saying before about that not all crimes are done by bad people, and some very good people do some very bad things. And he got played. And then, you know, I guess it's up to the viewer, what will Richard Gere do next? Because he can't tell anybody. Even if he told someone, they can't do anything because client, you know, privilege. Can't try him again, double jeopardy. So, I mean, there's really not much he can do other than if he wants to quit or keep going. Yeah, I guess that's up. There was no Primal Fear 2 or anything. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. It's a decent film. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.